He's getting older.
Oh, hit the full button!
But not wiser.
Cut that bitch off!
This is The Lefty Show.
Welcome, everybody, to The Lefty Show. I am your host, Lefty. Glad to be here with all of you today, Thursday, the 28th of August, in the year of our Spaghetti Monster 2014. Welcome on, welcome all to The Lefty Show. Hope to put on a great show for you today. Thank you, everybody, for watching, liking, favoriting, subscribing on YouTube. YouTube.com/LeftyOX is where you can go to find the show in its YouTube formation. You can also find all kinds of gaming content, vlogs, and the like there. Thank you to everybody that's been following me on Twitter, at Lefty643. Stay up to date on all the latest and greatest Lefty Show news. Thank you to everybody that's been donating to the show. I'mRaising.com/643 Productions is where you can do that. Thank you to everybody that's been sharing the show with friends, family, and coworkers. You help the show grow by sharing it with friends and family. You can find us on your mobile device, wherever you get your podcasts, Android app, on the iTunes store, or somewhere else in iOS, or maybe you have a Windows phone. I have no idea why you have one, but you'll probably find us wherever you get your podcasts there. Just search The Lefty Show. You'll find us. Be sure to subscribe, download all the episodes, and listen to them at your leisure. All right. Had an interesting show yesterday. There were some people apparently upset that the show had a sponsor. And there were some pointed comments. Some, of course, not all. I don't even believe a majority. However, the vocal minority is, well, vocal, and it's funny. It's funny to me. I'm not angry. It's not upset. I knew going into it that people were going to be upset. I knew that what I did in having a sponsorship, Area Games and their coming MOBA, Chaos Heroes Online, I knew that people were going to be upset that the first minute of the show, I think about a minute, maybe a minute and 5 seconds, maybe a minute and 10, we'll give it to them, was an ad read. And I didn't think it was excessive. I mean, sponsors giving compensation, and they want something. It's like the people, the worst thing I've found on the internet, the silliest thing is people that say, well, I'm fine with advertisements, but just so long as they aren't intrusive. And I say, and I just want to reach through the computer screen when I see people type that or say that. And I say, that's what advertising is. It's intrusive. An ad is intrusive. Everybody said, well, I'm fine with YouTube advertisements so long as I can skip them. No, that's advertising. You are put out from the content that you want to view so that the advertiser can get a little something, can have a little moment with you. And maybe then you see that enough, you go start buying things. All right. Okay. That's what advertising is. Now, of course, you can go too far. I rail on this show all the time when websites just refresh and all of a sudden there's an ad playing on what previously was a static page. I got a problem with that. When you have to refresh yourself to play an ad for me, you got yourself a problem there, big stroker. But I knew people were going in. I knew people going in were going to be upset about it. However, I just find it funny that I put on a show where there were 3 ad reads. 3. One at the beginning, one after the propers, and then one in the middle of the show at about the 30-minute mark. That's it. 3 ad reads, just me reading something, and then I jumped right into content. Or it was a bridge between a monologue and the news. It wasn't in the middle of a sentence I was saying something and then I cut off and a YouTube ad plays. It was a more dynamic, organic transition to an ad. A better advertisement. You know, advertisers say all the time the best kind of ads are ones that the viewer can't differentiate from the content. That's a great advertisement. Because, you know, if somebody says, hey, sit down, I'm going to try to sell you something, your brain clicks off. You go, nothing. I got nothing for you here. That's you're not selling me crap. But they are because, you know, why do you buy Coke over Pepsi? Advertising. More than likely. You can say, oh, they taste different. They don't taste markedly different, really. So I created what I thought was a better ad scheme for the show. The sponsor gets reads. I get practice doing reads. And you guys don't have to worry about, or people don't have to worry about a lot of breaks coming in the show. And just out of nowhere, advertisement, because I don't do breaks, but YouTube ads, they just come in. And I thought it was good, but apparently that's not good enough for people. Apparently, I'm pissed off because there's a 2-minute ad read at the beginning. No, first of all, it was a minute, and second of all, that's what advertising is. What are you doing? Come on. So apparently a few people were upset about it. A few, I can't stress enough, just a few. A lot of you understand and get it, but I just find it funny that, you know, it's out. People are just open about it, and other people accept it. Like, I want my cake and I eat it too. I want the content. I don't want advertisements. And yeah, that's what I just do that. You know, whenever you go to a site like Reddit and you bring up ad block, and somebody dares to come out and say, you know, you run ad block, but you want the free on-demand content 24/7 all the time, but you don't want to watch advertisements. What do you think provides a base for that on-demand content 24/7 all the time? It's ad revenue. And people are open about it. They just say, nuh-uh. I don't know. There's other ways to make money. I don't want to be advertised to, but I still want to read this stuff, and screw you, man. I'm just going to do it. And other people are like, yeah, let's do it, yeah. And I'm sitting there thinking, you know, there's going to come a time, because everything's on the internet now, and not all of it is subscription-based. In fact, very little of it is subscription-based, by which I mean you give me real money, I give you content. In exchange for that real money, a subscription. You know, New York Times and the Washington Post, they try it on their mobile apps. Nobody does it. I mean, very few people that actually get their news from that, sure. But people that are just browsing for stories, just idly by while they're waiting for somebody, waiting on the bus, or they're browsing Reddit for news, they're not going to use that. It's all ad-based revenue. And so I think and I look and I go, okay, you know, here we have a society, a culture, the internet, where people aren't paying for subscription services, okay, and still want the 24/7 on-demand content, not behind a paywall, okay, but they don't want to watch advertisements. And it's going to get to a point where a lot of this is going to go away, because people are open and with glee talking, yeah, I block the crap out of ads. It's great. Nothing. Yeah, but you damn right I still read those articles. You're damn right I still browse Reddit. You're damn right I do this and that and the other thing. And what do you think is going to happen? Do you think that model is sustainable? It's sustained now. It's sustained now because there are people like me who won't do it on principle, and other people who are just too dumb. But eventually, I'm either going to go away, I'm going to die, or I'm going to have enough and just not do it anymore. I'll go read physical papers on the toilet, which is where I do my best reading. And then all you will have is content backed by ads, watched by the people who are too dumb to put on ad block or some other blocking of ads program or plug-in or something. And you're still going to want the content. And you're still going to, but then one day you're going to be sitting there and you're going to wonder, holy crap, where did it go? Where did all this content go? And when somebody does not run the kind of advertisements that you can block, you still get pissed off. And I say you, I mean a faction of people, not necessarily you listening to this show right now. It's just easier to say you than they and all that stuff. But you still get pissed off. So somebody can say, hey, well, I'm going to post sponsored posts to my blogs then. And you can't block my blog posts. You want to block all the banner ads. Okay, well, then I'm going to start taking money from people to write about their new product. And that's what I'm going to do. That's how I'm going to make my money to support everything else. And people get pissed off at that. What are you doing? Oh, I can't trust you anymore. Well, listen, no such thing as a free lunch. That's as true in the internet age as it has ever been. No such thing as a free lunch. You want on-demand content? Accept advertising in some form. In some form. It doesn't have to be banner ads. There are sites that can probably remain profitable just by running sponsored reviews, sponsored this or that. I forget what it's called. Is it it's not astroturfing. There's a term for it, but it escapes me at this point. But there are sites, like me or podcasts where they can survive not by running YouTube advertisements, but by selling native video sponsorships native to the audio or video feed. And they can get by if they do that. But it's still advertising. It's advertising just the same as, quote, invasive banner ads or in-stream ads are. People are going to have to accept advertising. If you want free on-demand content, you're going to have to accept advertising in some way. So you can run ad block, fine. You're just a pudwhack. Okay, you're just a pudwhack. That's fine. I mean, just accept being a pudwhack. Yes, I am a pudwhack. Okay, I'm a pudwhack too, but about other things. Nice to meet you. How's it going? Oh, I justify it this way, and I can't this, and I can't big data. Oh, big data. My data. They're gonna get my data. Just when I thought my data was out, they pull it back in. No, you're just a pudwhack. You're just a pudwhack because you want your cake and you're going to try to eat it too. All right. Okay. You're going to have to accept it at some point. That's all I'm saying. And in other news, I didn't get to talk about this. We'll touch on it briefly here. It happened earlier in the week. Twitch TV has been officially sold, but not to whom you think they were going to be sold to. Amazon has bought Twitch TV and all their infrastructure and whatnot for a reported $970 million, just short of the $1 billion price tag that it was earlier months ago reported that Google was going to pay for the video game streaming service. So Amazon, the proud new owners of Twitch TV. It's been rumored for a long time that Twitch was on the market. Twitch denied it. There was rumors that Google was going to buy it, had made an offer, and even Twitch had accepted it for $1 billion. That fell through. That was shown to be just not true, or perhaps some negotiations fell through somewhere. But now Amazon has bought, it's official, and Twitch has come out and confirmed it. Twitch TV, $970 million price tag, just under $1 billion. And hats off to everybody at Twitch. I believe I said it before that even the very fact that people are discussing Twitch in this light, and people are saying, I think Twitch is going to go for about $1 billion, and nobody's saying, what are you, $1 billion for that? Nobody's saying that. Where it goes, all right, yeah, $1 billion, number 4 view. I think number 4 is it number 4 in terms of traffic? Number 4 traffic site in the world, Twitch TV. That seems about right. Yeah, you can go. So hats off to everybody at Twitch TV. $970 million. That's a lot. That's a lot of money. And as I understand it, Twitch is going to remain Twitch. Twitch TV is going to remain what it is. They're going to keep the branding. They are going to keep their staff, is so I'm told. Amazon is going to be, from what I've read, hands off in their ownership of Twitch TV. They want it, and they want the brand under their umbrella, and and they're going to let Twitch do their thing because, of course, it was this Twitch team that got Twitch TV to where it is. I mean, the people that ushered in the era of Twitch TV being thought of as $1 billion asset, these are the people. And, why would you replace them? So Amazon isn't going to touch it. And it's really refreshing because, number one, I have no clue what Amazon is going to do with Twitch. No, I don't know. I don't know what good Amazon can bring Twitch or what good Twitch can bring Amazon. Amazon has their own content delivery network. So how that will play with Twitch TV, I don't know. Amazon has hosting services as well as their own cloud, which I think are really good. I don't know. I mean, it's Amazon, right? When you think Amazon has this, you think, oh, wow, it's going to be really good. Amazon has their own streaming service, and it doesn't rival. It's not like, oh, is it Amazon Prime or Netflix? No, it's Netflix, one, but then Amazon Instant Video or Amazon Prime Instant Video, number two. I think, yeah, it's got to beat out HBO Go. So they're up there. They're in the thick of things. When it comes to hosting, I don't know. No clue. The cloud, how good is their cloud? The cloud! I don't know. No clue. Got nothing for you. But I'm assuming it's decent at least. So the question becomes, it's an undiscovered country. What is Amazon going to bring to Twitch? Is a Twitch Turbo membership coming with your Amazon Prime membership? Is perhaps something with on-demand video? Twitch Pass broadcast saved as on-demand video accessible via Amazon Instant Video, Amazon Prime. I don't know, but it's very interesting. The cloud, is it? I don't know. Maybe Twitch is going to become more reliable over the week. Twitch was brought down apparently by a distributed denial of service attack. Is Twitch going to be more reliable if Twitch can offset some of their data usage, some of their bandwidth to Twitch's or to Amazon's cloud and all the crap that they have? I don't know. My point is just saying this. One, it's undiscovered country with Amazon, and I don't know, and I'm just interested to find out because I don't see any of it being really bad necessarily. And number two, the reason why I'm jazzed about this is that it isn't Google, and that should say something. I think when you're happy about something being not something else, what does that say about that something else? Oh, man, did you hear Amazon bought Twitch? Amazon bought Twitch? Oh, yeah. Oh, thank God it wasn't Google. Oh, man, I was absolutely dreading Google buying Twitch. Because Google messed up YouTube or is just hacking away, chiseling away at YouTube. And I can only guess that Google would have in some way introduced crap to Twitch. I mean, I don't know what crap Amazon may introduce to Twitch, but the fact is I don't see crap that Amazon has to introduce to Twitch. Google, on the other hand, has, Google Plus integration that they will assuredly try to force on people. And they forced it on YouTube, and if they bought Twitch, there's no doubt in my mind that all of a sudden it's, hey, your Twitch TV account is going away. Now you have to have Google Plus, all this stuff, because we refuse to give up on Google Plus for some reason. So I'm really happy that it's not Google. And, if I'm Google right now, I'm wondering, are they aware at the tap dancing everybody is doing because they weren't the ones that were able to buy Twitch? I'm assuming that Google was in the talks to buy Twitch. If it may not have gone to the point of they had $1 billion deal on the table and it fell through, the rumors that were reported were actually true, but there's no doubt in my mind that they looked at that and said, that would look pretty good with a big old blue G on it. Look pretty good. Google.tv. Huh? Yeah, I like that. Or Twitch.google. What is something? Twitch.gtv. Something. Oh, yes, that would look really good. I'm hoping that they are also paying attention now to exactly how happy people are that they didn't get their hands on this. Not only the fact that Google assimilating Twitch would have raised antitrust questions because Google already got YouTube, the number 1 traffic site. Now Google's buying the number 4 traffic site on the internet in Twitch TV. That would definitely raise, in terms of streaming video sites, that would raise some definite antitrust stuff, or antitrust questions. But even outside of that, I hope Google is paying attention and saying, oh man, why is everybody so happy that we didn't buy Twitch? You know why, Google? Because everybody assumes that you're going to screw it up. You're going to get your hands on it, and you're going to try to Googlefy it. You're going to make it smarter, bigger, googlier, and you're going to mess it up because you're going to fire people. You're going to get rid of the hands-on approach. And then you're going to install screw it. It's going to be a nice shiny algorithm. We're going to do that. And you'll have to go to the Google support forums with your Google Plus account to complain about twitch.google being down. That's all you're going to have to do. Oh, well, I mean, there will be Twitch creators. There will be a Twitch creators Twitter account, but that's going to be nothing. That's going to be nothing at all. That's why, Google, because you get your hands on these nice new assets and you screw it up because, let's combine one Google account to rule them all. Let's put we put Google in your Google so that when you Google, you get Googled. That's why everybody's happy that you didn't buy Twitch. And I saw earlier this morning a tweet from Philly D said, well, this breaks my heart. And I clicked on a video, and it's entitled How Not to React When Your Child Tells You That He's Gay. Now, just reading that title alone, I was, okay, all right, we're gonna be in for some stuff here. Automatically, look, without knowing anything else about the video, even if you haven't seen it, pretend you haven't. Just pretend. How not to react when your child tells you that he's gay. What accent do these people have? That's it. That's all I want to know. Tell me, just in your head, play it. You know exactly. Even if you haven't watched the video recently, even if you haven't seen the video, the title of the video is How Not to React When Your Child Tells You That He's Gay. What accent do many of the people have in the video? You know what it is. You can say it. It's okay. And if you're from that area, I'm sorry, but many stereotypes exist for a reason. It's been observed, perhaps more than a few times. So, just that's the power. And irrespective of all this, and we're going to talk about the video, that's how powerful your brain is. That's how powerful, because many of you listening who guessed the accent, and there will be a reveal of sorts, and you'll get to see exactly what I'm talking about, or hear, actually. You'll hear it, and you'll be vindicated. That's how powerful your brain is. That's how that would be. I don't know what kind of logic. Would that be inductive logic? Not sure. Deductive, maybe? Anyway, that's how powerful your brain can be. Now, it arrived at a conclusion via a mechanism that, were you to apply it elsewhere, you would be viewed as a racist. But it's okay because we're talking about white people. Imagine if you did it, but you were talking about a black guy. There was a robbery in Compton today. What color of skin were the assailants? And you may even be right. But, you're a racist. You're a racist because you assumed. No, you profiled. You profiled. Yeah, I profiled. You damn right I did. What the hell? If I'm a white cop, if I'm a cop, doesn't matter the color of my skin. I'm walking around Maywood. I'm walking a beat in Maywood, the graveyard shift, walking a beat, patrolling in Maywood. What do you think I'm human. I'm not a robot. What do you think I'm going to come out thinking? What do you think? And this is for cops in general. Cops deal with the scum of the earth every day, and they should be held to a higher standard, but not a robotic standard. They have the badge and the gun and the power, but they're still not computers. They're still not robots. They're not automatrons. They are not without emotion. And so while I advocate holding police officers to a higher standard, certainly I'm not one person that says, well, you should always be a blank slate of emotion and never let emotion come into play. No, that would be unreasonable, because we're talking at the end of the day about humans. I mean, hey, automation is getting better, robot technology. Maybe we'll have robotic cops. We'll have a bunch of Ed 209s walking around. That'd be great, right? Nothing. They've got no emotions whatsoever. Yet. Oh, boy, when they do. Can you imagine Ed 209 with emotions? What if he's nice? So anyway, this video, I'll set the scene for you. I'm gonna jump around the video. I'm gonna try not to play it all because it's the guy's copyrighted stuff, and I don't want to play the whole thing and get in trouble. But this is in somewhere in the United States. You'll figure out where eventually. Somewhere in the United States, there was what appears to be a 20-year-old guy. They're 19 or 20. Family member says for 20 years of your life, this or that. So at least 20 years old, guy coming out to his family, assembled family members, that he is homosexual, and they are not happy about it. So, and the great thing about this video, well, not great thing, the sad thing about this video is that it covers a whole bunch of different things. And there's religion, there's just backwards cracker white people, and, there's a little bit of, look at me playing the victim card. Not just I'm a victim, but hey, look at me being a victim. I mean, I can do whatever I want because I'm a victim. So we'll cover all of it. This is some guy, I don't even know his name. I think is Daniel, maybe. We're going to jump around a few spots here. As I count, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. So this is a first part. He's coming out to his family again, saying he is gay, and I believe this is right after his family says it's a choice. He says no, it's not a choice, and no, it isn't a choice.
I have not made a choice. I have been from the moment I come out of my mother's uterus. I have been that way. Probably long before I come out of her uterus. Yes. Mm-hmm.
No, you can deny it all you want to. But I believe in the Word of God, and God creates nobody that way. It's a path that you have chosen to choose.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you believe it the way you want to believe it, because I cannot change that.
This is the way I'll put that part. I have taken basic biology and psychology, and it's determined within the first 6 weeks of birth what your personality is going to be, and that's part of your personality, and you cannot change it, and it's a scientific proof, not based off of
you
a
go
book.
by all the scientific stuff you want to. I'm going by the Word of God.
You take that science, you do whatever you want with that science. I'm going with the word of Jesus that was written down apparently 3,000 years ago. It was passed around, or 2,000 years ago, it was passed around as a story for centuries, but I'm going to go with that, the word of God, because praise be to Dale. So that's what we're up against. Now, to set the scene, again, if you haven't seen the video, I'll link it in the description. I want to say now that this recording looks surreptitious. This looks as though this is the backwards-facing camera of a smartphone pointed continually down at the ground because the person holding the camera or holding the phone or the camera doesn't want other people to know that he's filming them. Doesn't want people to know that the camera is on. Because otherwise I have to believe that the camera would be up and facing at people, at everybody talking. But if you're just holding the phone in your hand, the natural direction of the backwards camera is facing down. And it looks as though this may be a surreptitious recording. At no point in the video, as we jump around here, does he say that I am recording you. Now, we'll jump ahead here to the 3-minute and 50 mark. There's some interesting stuff that goes on here.
Hey, You son of a bitch! Get off me! Bitch! Get off me!
Let me tell you something.
She's going down!
I'm gonna.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
Oh,
Stop it!
get off of me! What's wrong with you?
You're a
Bring
damn
it!
queer, you
What's
fucking
wrong
dick.
with you? You don't tell lies on me, you little piece of shit! I didn't. I trusted you. You've never trusted me. You just.
That was after an altercation. Now, that's how it ended up. The coming to a scuffle. I don't know whether punches were thrown again. The camera was not being used as a video recording device, merely an audio recording device for surreptitious recording of people. Here's the thing. And a lot of people, and I played that first because a lot of people are going to say, well, look, his family attacked him because he's gay. Look at how backwards and archaic they are. And I don't disagree that this family is backwards, archaic, and they just need to be, they're first up on them. They get pushed to the top of the list, just like the donor list. No. You get a donation of napalm on your house. That's what these people, every single one, is crap. The whole area, just get them, all of them. Just do the world a favor. You know, you take out some healthy tissue, fine. Just firebomb it. Just whatever trailer park these yokels sit in, just lay waste to it. I say that, I played that first because we're gonna jump back now to some interesting things said by the victim here, the supposed victim of this quote hate crime. Here we go.
Disowning your dad and telling him that he's a racist and that your dad didn't raise you. Your dad's gone to bat for you for the last 20 years of your life. That man's put a roof over your head. He's put food on your table.
That's not raising.
Yes, it is. Okay? No, I know everybody's on the side of this guy, this little special snowflake, you know, his backwards ass yokel parents. I get it. No, that's raising you. Putting a house over your head, paying the mortgage or the rent or whatever, and putting food on the table for you for apparently 20 years, that's raising you. I don't want to hear, oh, he did not take me to the ballet when I wanted to go. No, the guy spent money on you that he didn't have to. At least for 2 years after you turned 18. You could have been kicked out then. Just get out. That's raising. It may not be what you wanted, but you don't have a constitutional right to the best parents ever. The guy was probably from meager beginnings. These are rich people, probably, I'm assuming, just making guesses, not even educated guesses, just all out guesses. These are probably people of meager means, and the guy did what he could to provide for you. That's raising you. None of this, the victim card only goes so far. Oh, look at me, special little snowflake homosexual being persecuted by these backwards, God-fearing people. That only goes so far. Don't even try to tell me that you weren't raised by people that paid your way. Don't even try to give me that crap. And you can't see it, but at the 340 mark, which directly precedes the inaction of violence, you'll notice that the victim here, after being prompted by something said by some off-screen family member, charges forward about 3 to 4 steps and starts raising his voice. Okay? I'll say that again. At the 340 mark, again, the camera's not recording everybody else, so I don't know, and I can't say with 100% certainty what actually happened. But I can tell you that from how I believe everybody to be oriented in the room, from the brief shots you see of the camera flicking up and down, everybody is situated directly in front of the person with the victim with the phone in their hand. And at the 340 mark, something is said and the victim charges forward. Not like a do-do-do. It's a bam, 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 and raises his voice to a screaming level. You don't know. Let's see what I can find here. What does he say? Here it is.
See my words. You are a completely different person.
There. And at that point is when yokel granny or yokel auntie or somebody charges back at him screaming, I'm going to get you. Here's it is.
Tell you something, you little piece of shit.
That's when the victim displayed aggression first. That's how it looks to me. Again, I can't tell because it was just pointed at the ground. But unless something really, really bad happened off camera, I can tell from the way the carpet moved, the victim showed aggression first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. And started screaming. That's aggression. That's not an attack. It's not an attack, but it's aggression. He showed aggression first. And the family, the yokel backwards family, responded. And what do you think? What do you think is going to happen when you showcase aggression to your backwards yokel family? The family members that would say, you can have all the science you want, I will take the word of God. Those same family members, what do you think, with whom you have lived for 20 years of your life? You know they're backwards and archaic. You know that. What do you think is going to happen when you charge them and show aggression first? What do you think is going to happen? Are they going to, I don't know, respond with aggression back? Are they, or is in your mind, are they somehow going to break the bonds of their own stupidity and say, hold on, I'm sorry, we all need to, emotions are running high now. This is all very new to us. This is all very different from what we're used to. I think it best that we all retreat to our own rooms and we all sleep on this and we come out tomorrow or even the day after and have a reasoned, calm discussion about everything that's going on, about where to go, about what's going on now and where to go in the future. Do you think that's going to happen? Live with these people for 20 years? And they would honestly say, you can have all the science you want, I will take the word of God. And they will say that with pride and conviction. What do you think is going to happen when you aggressively move towards them and raise your voice? What is going to happen? Are you asserting your dominance? What are they going to do to somebody trying to assert their dominance over them? They're going to respond. They responded violently and committed assault. It could be argued that you committed assault too. Look, I understand. Look, I don't have a problem with saying, hey, this family is completely backwards and stupid. Because they're backwards and stupid. They're backwards and stupid yokels from a silly part of our country, from a silly part of our sillier country. But there's a silly part of our country where, oh man, all that Jesus and praise be to Dale, where that flourishes. And these people are probably from there. And I have no problem saying you're backwards and stupid and you need to be firebombed. Fine. But you know what? Number one, this guy lived with them for 20 years. So he knew that. Knew it. This isn't like whoa, holy crap. You're a bunch of God-fearing, backwards, crazy people. This isn't like a revelation. He knew it. So you knew they were backwards and stupid. And you came out to them, and you knew you knew exactly how they were going to react. You knew exactly how they were going to react. This guy's not dumb. This kid, this poor homosexual kid who probably lived in fear for much of his life and needs to get out of that situation, needs to leave that family. He's not dumb. He's very clearly not dumb. He knows exactly how they're going to react, yet he continues to play on their religion, to play on their emotion, to challenge their beliefs, to challenge their stupidity. And all the while, he's holding the camera phone, which he is using to surreptitiously record them. Is that a victim? Or is that maybe a guy trying to play theater? Trying to play liberal, look at me being victimized theater? Imagine if months ago, V. Stiviano, how in the hell is she still V? Just come on, be Vivian, please. Vivian. Why do you have to go by V? Ugh. That would be like V. Stiviano saying, look at me being a victim of Donald Sterling's racism. You say, well, wait a minute. You were in Donald Sterling's house, right? Right. And you were talking to him, right? Yeah. And you were kind of baiting him and goading him into saying things that you knew he was racist, right? Yeah. And you were baiting him and goading him into saying increasingly racist things You knew for the camera or for the recording device you had on you. Yes. What purpose did that serve? Well, it showed the world that he was a racist, but it was in his house, right? Yeah. And you were a romantic confidant? Yeah. So didn't you abuse that to surreptitiously record him to try to ruin him? These people are backwards and archaic. But he's in their house. Their house. Unless he's paying the mortgage. Unless they can't find a job and he's working too to pay off the mortgage and support himself, that's one thing. But you're in their house. Where can somebody be backwards and archaic if not in their own damn house? And you goad them and you bait them and you know they are backwards and stupid. Yet you continue and you push and you push and you push the buttons and you just and you jab and you parry and thrust like you do. And then you aggressively charge them. I don't really have much sympathy for you, Big Stroker. I'm sorry. You could have gone down a lot differently. You could have accepted their abuse one last time and then gotten out. Accept it one last time. Because you know what? It's their house. And they are entitled to not like you because you are homosexual. Yes. Yes, they are. They are wholly entitled to not like you because you're homosexual. It's stupid. It's silly. It's wrong. But they are entitled to it. They are entitled to be backwards and archaic and not progressive. And they are entitled to resist progressiveness. So here you surreptitiously record them in their house, push their buttons, and then aggressively charge them. And you just, oh, look at me being a victim. Look at me being the victim. Oh, my God. No, you played that out so that you could have a viral video so that you are no better. You are no better. No better. Even though you had violence committed upon you, you are no better than the lesbian server who fabricated an entire story about how a heterosexual couple refused to tip her because she was gay. And it was all a fabrication to try to get like a book deal or a TV deal or something and take donations, and you made tens of thousands of dollars from it. You're no better than that. You were not engaging in look at me being persecuted. You were engaging in political theater. You were trying to make a political statement with that video. That's why you surreptitiously recorded. That's why you pressed. That's why you pressed on. That's why you pushed the buttons. And that's why you aggressively charged and then cried victim. Nothing. I got nothing for you. Get out. Get out. Get out of their house. One, because they tell you to. And two, because it's not a good place for you to be because they're very clearly backwards and stupid. But you know what? They're entitled to be backwards and stupid. All right, let's do some news. We got a lot to talk about in the news today. The Federal Register has changed hydrocodone, the schedule of hydrocodone, to make it harder to get the drug. Researchers say the unemployment rate isn't accurate. Derp. The Boston Marathon suspect's sister arrested on a bomb threat charges. The Bank of America, we have some news on their fine, the record fine paid out to federal authorities. And a Catholic couple fined $13,000 for refusing to host same-sex wedding at their farm. It's the news of Lefty. Let's talk about all the news. So, talking again about political theater and, being I don't know what political party I'm in. I don't think I'm in one. Crazy. Is Crazy a political party? I think that might be me. Or the political party of doofuses. I think that would be me. I'd sign up. Run their committee. Be the treasurer or something. I do voiceover work, committee of doofuses. Let me know if you want to spend some money on political ads. I got you. But I try not to. I really try not to be, the conservative this, the liberal this, the blah, 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 blah. I slip up once in a while and, I can't help it. But we were talking, just the story we were talking about before heading into the news, a very liberal story. Obviously, very liberally charged, and people that ascribe to the quote liberal agenda are very up in arms about it, and probably be not happy with my hot takes on what's going on. But and as much as I rip on Mike Ditka and the liberal agenda, and we're going to let the liberals run this country, I ripped on him for that. That's a thing. It's not a fabrication. It's not a complete lie. The idea of a liberal agenda that will subvert the rights of other people, even well-meaning people, to further the agenda, that's a thing. So we go to lifesitenews.com. The New York State Division of Human Rights has ruled that the Roman Catholic owners of an Albany area farm violated the civil rights of a lesbian couple when they declined to host the couple's same-sex marriage ceremony in 2012. Robert and Cynthia Gifford, who own and operate Liberty Ridge Farm in Come on now. Schaghtikoke. Schaghtikoke were ordered by DHR Judge Migdalia Perez and Commissioner Helen Diane Foster to pay $10,000 in fines to the state, an additional $3,000 in damages to the lesbian couple, Jenny McCarthy and Melissa Irwin, for mental pain and suffering. Additionally, the Giffords must provide sensitivity training to their staff and prominently display a poster highlighting state anti-discrimination laws. The Giffords' attorney, Jim Traynor, told the LifeSite News that the 2-year legal drama and resulting fines all stemmed from a single brief phone call in 2012 that caught his clients off guard. The entire interaction between the complainants and the Giffords transpired during a 2 to 3 minute telephone conversation, which, unknown to Mrs. Gifford, was being tape recorded. After communicating the fact that they chose not to hold same-sex marriage ceremonies at the farm, because to do so would violate the Giffords' sincerely held beliefs that God intended marriage to be between a man and a woman only, Mrs. Gifford invited the couple to visit the farm to discuss handling their wedding reception, which the couple refused. The Giffords draw a line, Traynor explained, between a ceremony that solemnizes a homosexual relationship and a reception that celebrates the union after the fact. To participate in the former, they argue, would be a violation of their own religious beliefs, especially because marriage ceremonies on the farm typically take place in and around the couple's home, where they live full-time and are raising their 2 children. Okay? I'm going to read that again, because issue identification here. To participate in the former, they argue, would be a violation of their own religious beliefs, especially because marriage ceremonies on the farm typically take place in and around the couple's home, where they live full-time and are raising their 2 children. But the Giffords are willing to serve gay couples in other ways. For example, they allowed another lesbian couple to throw a birthday party for their adopted child on the farm. Traynor said he believes the decision by DHR goes too far and that it seeks to regulate what the Giffords can or cannot do in their own private home, even though state law only requires places of public accommodation to adhere to anti-discrimination laws. So you tell me. These people, a judge has ordered, you will face fines, and you have to put yourself out monetarily. You have to give sensitivity training, and you have to have these signs put up. And by the way, you bet the local inspector is going to be around to make sure that you go get a permit to put those signs up. So because the local village has got to get their nut too. You don't want to have homosexuals in your home to celebrate, and it's backwards and silly why you wouldn't want. Okay, fine, but you don't. It's your home, your property, your private residential property, not commercial. This is where you live. You say, well, you can come here and have a party. Sure. I mean, you're gay. That's none of my business, but I'm not going to have your homosexual union take place in my home. In my home. Because of my ridiculous religious beliefs, whatever the crazy religious beliefs are, right? Do you own anything anymore? I mean, really, what do you own? Where is your sanctity? Where is it? Where are you actually private? Where can you say, no, 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 no. None of this crap. Get that crap. I don't want it. I don't want it in my home. I don't want it in my ears. I don't want it in my brain. Get it out of here. Leave me alone. There's nowhere like that anymore. Because this lesbian couple wanted to have their ceremony, the actual bonding, the actual union at this deeply religious couple's home. And the couple said, no, not in our home. And they have to pay $10,000, $3,000 extra for mental pain and suffering. I mean, there's a line between Alabama in the 60s and just backwards ass people that I don't want that. I don't want it in my home. I don't want it in my small business. Get it out of here. Just no, let me run my business. Let me run my home, my property, my way. Let me do it my way. Get out. No. Get that crap out of here. But no. In New York, now you have to take these homosexuals into your home despite your religious beliefs. And if you don't, you now owe the state of New York and the couple money. And you have to put your employees through sensitivity training and put up signs. Dude, nobody owns anything anymore. Nothing. You can't do anything. You can have private conversations with a romantic confidant or a family member, surreptitiously recorded and played out in the public eye, and then you're a racist, and then you're under investigation for, then you lose your $1 billion asset. Now you're under investigation for being a racist and all this crap. When all you want to do is, look, I just want to be backwards and stupid and religious in my own home. Let me be that. You can't do it anymore because you have to. Now you have to. There's no doubt in my mind anymore that there is a push. Perhaps it's unintentional. I don't know. Maybe those leading the liberal front or the progressive front don't understand it. Maybe they don't understand what they're doing. But you are pushing people. You are pushing people to accept things, not to just hey. If you are a bigger public business, you can't be doing crap like this. You can't have the, sit in the back of the bus or, not even get on the bus, and you can't be like, no, not at the counter or not even at all in our place of business. You can't be doing that. When you're in the public way, when you are being serviced by public monies, and how you have to draw that hard and fast line because that's how the law works. I don't know. But I think the line on one side, I'm running a business out of my home and I'm McDonald's. There are two opposite ends of the spectrum. In between the two is the line past which, no. You're serving the public good now. You are serving the public at large. Now you've got to play by these hard and fast rules. But I don't want these people in my home. Why do I have to have them in my home? Because what you're saying now is that people who are backwards and stupid and silly, sure, have to accept things that they don't like. You have to just accept them. And you have to not only accept them, you have to like them. And that's stupid. That's just wrong. That's morally wrong. It's reprehensible, really, to say, we're the land of the free, home of the brave, and the Whopper. But you better like homosexuals. You better like minorities. You better like transgender people. You better not accept, like them. You better accept them into your home when we want to hold this ceremony at your home. No. Sued. Nope, not happening. Have the couple ever held a homosexual ceremony at their home? No, they haven't. It's not like, I've done it before, but not this time. We don't like it because it's our home, and this is not something we want. But the liberal agenda, no, you got to accept it. You got to do it. You got to do it or you face fines. That's reprehensible. Dare I say, the very notion that the government in some way, state, federal, the government will come down on you, or the government will pass legislation to come after you for having these silly beliefs and not wanting it to invade your home and private property, dare I say, that's even more morally reprehensible. That's even worse than having the thoughts in the first place. That's even worse. I mean, it's just, oh man, you think that? Oh, that's kind of crappy. That is crappy. You know? Oh, gay people are inferior to me and it's wrong and I don't agree with it. Well, so what, man? So what? They're a girl who likes women or a guy who likes dudes. What do you care? That's dumb. But then you've got the liberal movement by way of the government saying, oh, no. Now you have to get as close to liking them as the law can make you. You have to accept these people now into your home whenever they want. We want to do that. You run this business out of your home, right? Right. Well, we want to do this in your home. Well, I find that morally reprehensible. And they say, oh, well, now we're going to sue you, and now the government's going to come after your ass. You own nothing. You own nothing, and pretty soon you're not going to be able to think anything that doesn't go with that doesn't stay in lockstep with what popular culture, popular, progressive, increasingly liberal culture wants you to think. That's where we're headed. And you know what? It's sad. In other news, the Bank of America is set to tax deduct the majority of their fraud settlement. This is from IBIS News .media. What was a record settlement against Bank of America will actually be far less costly to the bank. 5 days ago, Bank of America agreed to pay the federal government $17 billion to settle with the Department of Justice over alleged misrepresentations of the quality of its bonds. But at least $3 billion of that cost will be redistributed instead to the taxpayer. Prior to the settlement, Attorney General Eric Holder stated on multiple occasions, when confronted with concerns about their reckless practices, bankers continued to mislead investors about their own standards and to securitize loans with fundamental credit compliance and legal defects. His team at the DOJ was able to negotiate a settlement with the bank, agreeing to pay $17 billion to the federal government, but not admit guilt. The bank, however, did admit that a significant number of loans in its $850 million securitization were more risky than investors were led to believe. The settlement will pay for a $5 billion settlement to the DOJ, $7 billion for consumer relief, and at least $1 billion to various states whose pension funds invested in the risky investment products. For California's Attorney General, California's share is sufficient. Quote, the settlement makes our pension funds whole for the financial losses, end quote. But for the U.S. taxpayer, the situation is much worse. Up to $11.63 billion of the settlement will be tax deductible to the bank, meaning that with Bank of America's own estimated tax rate, the bank will be able to save through tax deduction approximately $3.6 billion of the settlement expense. Were the bank to have admitted guilt, the settlement would not have been tax deductible. Other banks such as Citigroup and JP Morgan have reached similar settlements with the DOJ to avoid admitting any wrongdoing. Citigroup paid $7 billion and JP Morgan paid $13 billion to settle charges. No high-level executive has been charged with the knowledge of or participation in the defrauding of investors. One more time. No high-level executive has been charged with knowledge of or participation in the defrauding of investors. So we're going to come after you. Eric Holder's going to come get you. He's got something to say to you. He's going to get you. You're going to have to pay a fine that's going to be bleh to what you made doing this. It's going to be just nothing compared to what you actually made defrauding investors. You probably made tens of billions of dollars. Max we're going to pay is 17. We're going to come get you with this fine. Well, it's not really going to make everybody whole, and it's actually going to go to people who, they signed the papers anyway, so they may not actually be in line to morally at least get the money to make them whole. It's not going to go to recoup investors, all the investors, to your crimes. But, yeah, all right, you're going to have to pay out a lot of money. Oh, and it's tax deductible. It's tax deductible. So, money you would have paid the U.S. government, the taxpayers, for just the cost of doing business and what you bring in, we'll let that go because you paid this out. It's all right. Oh, and by the way, no criminal charges filed against anybody. Do you look at that? Bank of America. Here they say they admitted to securities fraud. The bank, however, did admit that a significant number of loans in an $850 million securitization were more risky than investors were led to believe. What is that if not securities fraud? What is that? Can I just do that? Can I walk around? Hey, the Lefty shows this great big thing. Yeah, it's kind of, but great big thing. Come on, invest. Oh, it turned out to be, too bad. Oh, whoops. Pay out a settlement. That's a crime. You can't be going around doing that. Now you see that, right? And the Bank of America goes, yeah, we did it. And then you realize the fact that no high-level executive has been charged with knowledge of or participation in the defrauding of investors, despite the same high-level executive saying, yeah, we defrauded them. Yeah, we did it. How do you feel as a citizen? Do you feel, are you going to go out and vote? Really? I honestly want to know. You read news like the Bank of America did this. Bank of America admitted to defrauding investors. Admitted to it publicly, not in the legal sense, but just, they were more risky than investors were led to believe, which is securities fraud. But, okay, the Bank of America Corp did that. And then you realize no high-level executive has been charged with a crime. Nothing. And nobody's going to. They paid out a couple $1 billion, but it's going to be tax deductible, and they don't have to admit culpability. They do that on their own, and still no charges are filed. I just want to know. Knowing all that, I just want to know. Are you going to vote? Is anybody voting? Anybody feel like, this democratic republic that we have, this representative government, do you feel represented? The Department of Justice, Attorney General Eric Holder, they work for you. They work for you. They work for the people. You are the people. Do you feel represented? Do you feel like, yes, I feel as though I have a say in government? I feel as though what I do and what I want matters, and my questions will be answered, and the people whom I elect will hold people that wish to negligently or otherwise do me harm will be held accountable. Do you feel that? Do you get that warm and fuzzy feeling? Are you going to go out and vote? I'm not. And this is why. Let's bring it home. Another great episode of The Lefty Show. I thank you all for joining. I had a great time putting on the show for you. I hope you had a great time listening. Thank you to everybody for watching, liking, favoriting, subscribing on YouTube. YouTube.com/LeftyOX is where you can go to find the show in its YouTube formation. You can also find gaming content and vlogs of the sort all there. YouTube.com/LeftyOX. Thank you to everybody that's been sharing the show, helping the show grow by sharing it with friends, family, and co-workers. Head on over to leftyshow.podbean.com or wherever you get your podcasts, Android, iOS, or the iTunes Store. Search The Lefty Show. Be sure to subscribe there. Download all the episodes at your leisure. Thank you to everybody that's been donating, helping out the show. Great way to do so is imraising.com/643 Productions. Your monetary donations greatly appreciated. Anyway, guys, that's my time. I got to get out of here. Thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you next time. Enjoy your weekend. I'm out. Bye.
Kiss my ass, you don't like it. It's my house.